Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's wonderful session. Today, we are going to talk on a topic that says fear. Fear. Fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger, pain, or harm. Fear plays an unpleasant role in our lives. Fear plays an unpleasant and dangerous role in our lives, and this is why people refuse to engage in so many activities. You see, fear is just an unpleasant emotion that is being caused by the threat of danger, harm, and pain. You see, because of fear, so many persons refuse to indulge in so many things. They refuse to move ahead or move forward or try to put themselves into some activities. Why? Because they are afraid. There is something that fear does to us. There's something that fear does to us. The moment you are doing something and you become afraid, you realize that you begin to fail in whatsoever you're doing. Now, let us take an instance. When the Son of Man, according to the biblical story, the Son of Man, Jesus Christ himself, when he was walking on water, he called Peter to join him. And when Peter came out of the boat, Peter was walking on water. But the moment he heard the storm, he became afraid and he began to sink. Now, this is it. The moment Peter had this threat of danger, this threat of pain, this threat of harm coming from the sounds of these waves and storm, fear came in. And the moment fear entered, he began to sink. This is what fear does in our lives. The moment you're trying to accomplish something and fear comes in or steps in, or you begin to have these emotional imbalances of dangers, you realize that you begin to sink and you begin to drop in whatsoever you're doing. This is what fear does. Now, there are different types of fears. There are fears of dangers. People fear because they feel that this place is dangerous. That is why they fear. Fear of rejection, fear of loneliness, fear of failure, and fear of death. You see, when people begin to have this fear of death in them, they don't want to try. They don't want to take another step because they feel that they are just afraid that they will die. Meanwhile, in life, we must all die. Death is inevitable. Death is something that is inevitable in life. We must all pass through that door. We must all go through the journey of death. So the moment you begin to fear, you begin to lose everything. You begin to lose everything. You are afraid to fear. You are afraid to fail. You begin to fail. You are afraid to be lonely. Because you are afraid to be lonely, you begin to mingle with people that are not good or that are not healthy for you. They are not healthy for your well-being. You begin to mingle with them. Because of a fear of rejection, you refuse to try. This is fear. Fear makes us not to exercise our potentials and to do so many things that we are supposed to do. See, when you allow fear to dwell in you, you cannot conquer. If you allow fear to dwell in you, you can never conquer. Now, there are ways that we can conquer fears. Number one, boldness. If you have the spirit of boldness within you, you can approach anything without fear. If you have the spirit of boldness within you, you can even... There are some persons that are afraid to approach a president. There are some persons that are afraid to approach a minister. There are some persons that are afraid to approach maybe a very big man or a high status man or someone with some high level of social status. Why? Is because they are just afraid. They are just being afraid. So once you have the spirit of boldness, you can approach anything without fear of anything. Secondly, how to conquer fear. We have courage. You have to build this courage within you. You have to have courage. That courage to approach, that courage to front, that courage to do anything, that courage to conquer. You need to have it. If you don't have it, you begin to dwell in fear. Now, after boldness, after you've been bold and you've developed your courage, the next thing is to approach. Approach whatsoever the situation is, whether it's a girl or whether it's your work or whether it's some exercise or whatsoever it is, you approach. After you're bold enough and you've developed some courage, the next thing you do is to approach. Once you start approaching, you begin to conquer fear. Fear lies in the man that does not approach. So the moment you begin to approach, you begin to conquer fear. This is a certain principle in life that you must follow. Lastly, once you are approaching, you relax your mind. You see, when you approach people, even if you approach gangsters or anything, and you begin to fidget, once you're fidgeting, they know you're afraid and they can take advantage of you. But once you approach anything and you enter there with a calm mind, no matter what is happening, no matter the dangers, no matter the threats, no matter the harm that is happening, you have a relaxed mind and you have a calm mind. You realize that you have begun to conquer fear. Why you're always afraid is because your mind is always fidgeting, you're always shaking, and because of that, you begin to pile up fears. So once you have a calm mind, you begin to conquer fear. You see? Now, there is one thing, even in the spiritual realm, before you're being attacked, they insert something in you which is called fear. They bring out a false image towards you, and the moment they bring out this image towards you and you visualize this thing and you have this fear within you, they can begin to attack, they can begin to strike. But the moment you have no fears within you, the moment you have this courage, this boldness, this ability to approach any situation or anything, you begin to conquer fear. You begin to conquer fear, both in the spiritual realm and in the physical realm. Fear is a tool used by the enemy to manipulate you into doing what they want you to do, or into harming you or putting you in imminent danger. This is what fear does, and this is the tool the enemies use to conquer you. You see, even when you are online, you are discussing or you are having some conversations online, if someone wants you to stop this thing because either you're spoiling his business or you're trying to make people be aware of certain things, they bring out this fear in you that they will report you down, or they'll bring down your account, or they will take you down, or they'll arrest you. The moment they begin to project this fear in you, you begin to calm down, you begin to withdraw, because they know the first thing they want to do is fear. Now, once they put this fear in you and you refuse to be afraid and you keep on moving, they will come physically. Once they come physically later and they see you're not afraid, they will back down. They will leave you to keep on moving. You see, but in life, all these things does not happen once. You see, all these things, it does not happen once. They will come the first stage, the second stage, third stage. So long as you are alive, they will keep on projecting fears. So how you can conquer this fear is through boldness, courage, approach, and a calm mind. If you have these things, you have conquered fear. And once you conquer fear, you have conquered everything in life. So I encourage you this time that you should be bold, you should be courageous, you should have a mindset of approaching anything, and you should have a relaxed mind, a calm mind, even in storm. You see, according to the Son of Man, even when he was in the storm, his disciples were shaking because the storm was to take them away. The disciples were shaking, but he was calm. He was calm until he said, "Oh, ye little faith. Oh, ye of little faith." He was calm. And when he was calm, he was able to calm the storm. So if you're not calm, you cannot calm the storm. If you're not calm, you cannot calm fear. If you're not calm, you cannot conquer. So once you calm your mind, you begin to conquer, and you begin to conquer fear. This is a natural principle. And once you follow these things, you realize how easy it is to conquer fear and to approach anything in life. Thank you very much for listening. And as you listen and apply these things to your life, you'll begin to see changes, and things will begin to work for your favors and accordingly. Thank you very much for your time, and have a blessed day and a fruitful time.